Go ahead. Feel free. Start with the question.
Coach, I know the stats indicate a pretty lopsided game, but it seemed, especially in the first half, you were looking for something from your team, and we're kind of getting frustrated. It seemed like you were getting frustrated. Is that what kind of led to the mass substitutions?
Well, I just want more from him, and that's every coach. I mean, every coach wants him to give me a little bit more. I thought the first quarter we did a really nice job. Our goal was to come out, disrupt them by pressing them, and kind of getting them out of their pattern, because they're a very, very well coached team. Kevin does a fantastic job with them, and as we talked as a staff, the first quarter, you couldn't tell what they were trying to do offensively because we disrupted them so much. We forced them to turn the ball over. But once we got up 20, then my goal from there on out was, okay, we're going to play half-court defense. We'll pick the ball up full court like we always do, but we need to try to be able to get better defending in the half court. We could have pressed the whole game, and it may have been lopsided. But the goal is for us to get better every night. So I thought we did a very good job of following the game plan first quarter. Got a 20-point lead, which I really wasn't expecting. I thought we could get it to 8 to 10, and then hopefully by half have it there. But we got it there after one, and then I said, okay, now we're half-court defense, and that's where I got frustrated because we didn't defend as well as we have in the half court. And we're going to be playing a really good Vanderbilt team that I know their record might not be, 5-1 or 6-2, but they've gotten a lot better. They're getting better. Stephanie White does a great job. That on Thursday that we're going to have to defend in the half court much better.
Coach, you've been looking for your team to show a little more court awareness. Were you happy with what they did out there tonight on that aspect?
Yeah, for the most part, I thought we did a pretty decent job of getting the ball out of our hands quick. Our whole thing is we got to stop holding on to it. We hold on to it for about an extra second, and then defenses have the opportunity to shift. We need quick ball reversal. I want the thing pushed up the side, or if we can get a layup off transition, we take it. If not, quick look into the post. If it's not there, then we got to get that thing reversed to the other side to make the defense shift. And then once we make them shift, then we can attack off the bounce, or we can look to go high-low. There's a lot of good things that can happen. And I thought we did a much better job. I thought Dana actually played really well, but I thought she got tired there for about a stretch, and that's where she had her back-to-back turnovers with plays that she normally doesn't make. So, up to that point, she had 6 assists and 1 turnover, and I was very impressed with how she commanded the floor.
Kylie Schick got the start tonight. What were your thoughts on her performance and why you gave her the start tonight?
Well, Sam couldn't find her way to class the other day. I think she got lost. Her and Sid had class together, and they both, I don't know if they went to the wrong building or what took place, but is that what it was? See, that could have been it. So, that's just kind of growing up, the maturity part of it. And I said, guys, that's not what we do around here. So I just told her she would not start. Now she'll start on Thursday night. Because, I'm a big believer. You pay your price, and then we move on. We don't hold a grudge around here, and that's just part of the maturity process. But, that's all that took place.
What do you think of Kylie's?
You know what? Kylie played better off the ball, which is something that we've been talking to her about. She didn't shoot the ball very well tonight. She missed a few layups. But off the ball, she did fine. She had 4 blocks. We're just really working with her right now of being able to guard the ball because everybody's starting to pick on her. They're starting to throw the ball at the elbow and driving it and challenging her, and that's the area that she has to improve, but she is working on it.
How do you explain the progress you've made at the free throw line?
Well, I think I let my assistants do the coaching at the free throw line the past few years, and now we've changed up, and I'm doing that. No, it's the players. I mean, the kids have gotten into the gym, and they got embarrassed. It's like the past few years, it's like, guys, you tell me you're in there working on them, but you can't be, because free throw shooting, it's just a repetition. It is a repetition of stepping up a routine and doing it over and over and over. And they finally got in there all summer long and did it. And now we're seeing the results of their work. I mean, I think we're shooting in the mid to upper 70s as a team, and if you can do that, that's pretty impressive. Because most coaches of my past years, if we could shoot 70% from the free throw line, we were excited as a team. But now I think we're high 70s, getting closer to 80.
Follow up on that. The top 3 women's teams are shooting better free throw line than any men's teams. Is there a reason other than the size of the ball?
You know what? I don't be honest with you. The size of the ball, and that's kind of something that everybody's talked about. I'm not sure it's easier to shoot the smaller ball. You know, I've got players that have played in the past that went from the big ball to the small ball that would have rather kept playing with the big ball. No, I don't. It just could be, you know, technique, routine, the amount of time you spend on it. You know, we aren't practicing dunks. So that's one less thing that we have to worry about. So maybe we're spending more time working on free throw shooting. But it's something that's very, I mean, it's going to win you games and lose you games. There's no question about it. And our team's taking some pride in really making sure they're focusing on it.
You're off to a 9-0 start now. The team's off to a 9-0 start, second best start in school history. Is there anything that you would like to see the team work on? I know you mentioned kind of, you know, the focus on half-court defense in this game. Is there anything else that the team needs to work on?
Well, we've got to continue. We had started off extremely well rebounding the basketball. We were dominating the glass. We weren't giving up hardly any offensive boards. Now we're starting to leak out in transition. We're trying to run before we get a rebound. And those are things that we've got to address, which we'll show film. It's got to be a team effort because that's how it was. We played Ohio State and Michigan, Oregon. It was a team effort. Everybody went and rebounded. And right now, unfortunately, we're starting to leak out. Now, there's some you're not going to get. You can box out and do a great job, and if it hits the back of the rim and goes over your head, you can't do anything about that. But there are too many of them that we're just not finishing a box out. And that's one area that we have to work on. And then we still got to focus on shooting the ball from the three-point line. We've got to become more consistent. It can't just be Asia and Sid. We've got to get one more in there that, you know, just 1 for 3, 1 for 2. And if we can get that done, then we're going to, you know, be a lot more difficult to guard.
Is that something that Kylie could probably
Kylie can do that. AC can do that. You know, I thought AC played a really good game tonight. You know, I'm just trying to get her to understand good shots and bad shots. You know, sometimes she wants to fire up a 3 real quick in the shot clock, and that's just not a good shot for her. Now, when that ball gets reversed or kicked out and she steps into it, great shot. But her game and one of her strong is that 15-foot, 12-foot pull-up jump shot, and that's where she made a lot of her shots tonight. And that's what I've got to just continue to get her to understand, because, you know, a lot of players, their feelings get hurt when you're like, hey, it's a bad shot. Well, why is it a bad shot for me but a good shot for her? And it's just, I can show you stats. You know, it's real. The wonderful thing about our game, there's stats that are kept. And, you know, when you're shooting low 30%, high 20s from 3, it's not a good shot. I tell them all, you shoot 50% from the field, you can shoot it from wherever you want. I don't care if you get the inbounds pass and chuck it up from 75 feet, because you won't keep shooting 50% if you do that. You know, some are like, oh, because I can shoot it whenever I want. Sure you can. And then I explain to them, now you do know that when you miss it, your percentage will go down. And then when you get below 50, you only shoot it when I tell you to. And then they're like, oh. So, you know, I try to give them the old, you get to 50%, you shoot it whenever you want. And the ones that are there are taking good shots because there's a reason they're above 50%.
Jeff, you started either 8-0 or better, I think, 5 times in your career. But being 9-0 now, are you not more, not that you played easy schedules then, but are you more tested this year so far, do you feel like?
I think we have been. You know, our game is South Dakota State, which, you know, it's one of those, I know nobody's going to make the trip up there to Brookings as media, but if you ever get a chance to go up there, you should. I mean, it's a fun place to play. It was an unbelievable environment. Their fans are, I compare them to ours, very smart basketball fans. But after the game, I was even more impressed. I mean, when we left, their fans are coming out of crowd congratulating our players, thanking us for coming up. I mean, it was remarkable. It was a hostile environment, but it was an environment that had great fans. They were, I mean, it wasn't spitting on you, throwing stuff at you, cursing at you. You know, afterwards, they were congratulating you. But, boy, they got into it and were loud. So we've had the opportunity to play some places where we've been challenged, and we played some very tough teams. So, overall, to be 9-0 right now, I would have told you beginning of the season if we could have been 7-2 right now, I would have been excited with that, knowing where we were going to be playing and who we were going to be playing.
You put them in that position. Has that gotten your depth where you'd like it to be? Is that starting to come along, you think?
I do. Our depth is pretty good right now. That's one thing that I'm excited about. I'm trying to get a few. I thought Bianca Dunham, you know, Bianca rebounds the ball as well as anybody that I've coached. She gets off the ground so quick. Sid just continuing to trying to work on evolving her game into being more than just a shooter. But like I told her, hey, if you can come out and go 3 for 5 from three-point line, you're going to play in a lot of ball games. And then Dana off the bench, she can change the game. Her quickness, her athleticism can change the tempo of the game. So we're very fortunate with that. And then, you know, Sam normally has been starting. I've been bringing Kylie in. So we've got a really deep group that different players can step up. And it's like I've said, I go back to our Ohio State game. Asia gets 47, but 30 of them are within the offense where kids are setting screens for her and getting her shots. It wasn't just throw the ball over here and watch a kid go one-on-one. You know, and then we play Oregon, and she picks up her second foul with about 9 to go in the second quarter. I take her out, and I'm thinking, okay, if I can set her on the bench for 2 or 3 minutes, then I'll put her back in. Where we're up 10, and before I know it, we're up 18 with her and Maisha on the bench. Where in the past, I haven't had that luxury, where I can take out some pretty darn good players, and I'm putting in some good ones, and we're playing well together as a team.
How important is that, making that final step? There are 2 or 3, 4 handful of teams that their second five are better than a lot of people's first.
It's big. It's big for us, especially when you get into situations. If you get into foul trouble, somebody sprains an ankle. You know, normally if you can get to 8 or 9 deep, you're pretty darn good. And right now, I think we're at that point, but we're going to need someone to become a little bit more consistent. You know, you can't have you can't come out tonight and shoot the ball well, then on Thursday lay an egg, and that's where I'm challenging them. But I do like our depth.
You had a good distribution of minutes tonight. We didn't see Loretta Catala play, injury there. Or
Loretta's been dealing with a few things that we're trying to get taken care of for her. And she's been working her tail off. It has nothing to do. There's no disciplinary issues. There's nothing like that. We're just trying to let her take care of her, and we're trying to help her with that. But she's a great teammate. She's over there with Lindsay Duvall, and they're cheering, and they're engaged in the game. Hopefully we'll have some more in the next few days on what our plans are going to be moving forward. Thank you, everybody. Sure appreciate it.